The data protection landscape in Sweden is governed by the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, which came into effect across the European Union on May 25, 2018. The Swedish Data Protection Authority, known as Integritetsskyddsmyndigheten, oversees enforcement of the GDPR in Sweden. In addition to the GDPR, Sweden has supplementary national laws such as the Data Protection Act, 2018-218, the Data Protection Ordinance, 2018-219, and sector-specific legislation such as the Camera Surveillance Act and the Whistleblowing Act. Personal data in Sweden can only be processed under specific conditions, ensuring that individuals have control over their personal information. The GDPR provides a framework for lawful processing, including obtaining explicit consent from individuals, and sets forth principles like purpose limitation, data minimization, and data subject rights, which include access, rectification, erasure, and the right to object to processing. For transfers of personal data outside of the EU, Swedish entities must ensure adequate protection measures are in place, and certain categories of data, such as data relating to criminal convictions, require specific handling and may need authorization from the Swedish Authority for Privacy Protection. Data controllers and processors have obligations to maintain records of processing activities and to notify authorities of data breaches. In certain circumstances, a data protection officer, DPO, must be appointed to oversee compliance with data protection laws. The GDPR also stipulates that individuals have the right to compensation for any material or non-material damage resulting from GDPR violations, and authorities have the power to impose substantial fines for non-compliance. Electronic marketing in Sweden is subject to consent requirements, with the Marketing Act providing guidance on when marketing communications can be sent out. With respect to online privacy, the use of cookies and similar technologies is regulated, requiring user consent according to the Electronic Communications Act. Supervisory authority, the Swedish Authority for Privacy Protection, IMY, is the supervisory authority responsible for monitoring the application of the GDPR in Sweden. It has powers to investigate and take action against non-compliance, including imposing administrative fines. Sector-specific legislation. Apart from the GDPR and the National Data Protection Act, Sweden has several sector-specific laws governing data protection. Camera Surveillance Act regulates the use of camera surveillance by private and public actors, requiring a permit in certain circumstances. Whistleblowing Act provides rules for the protection of personal data in the context of whistleblowing systems. Electronic Communications Act sets forth requirements for electronic communications, including consent for cookies and similar technologies.